Welcome to the Met Office 10-day trend, where we take a look at some of the shifts in our broader weather patterns and a more detailed look at some of the uncertainties in the medium to longer range forecast. It's the autumn equinox, which means however you measure it, autumn has begun, but there's still some late summer sunshine for quite a few of us over the shorter term. For many, the next few days dry and bright with some sunny spells, and it's been a very warm September so far. That is likely to continue. On Monday, we are going to see a shift with a pretty active weather front, it looks like, crossing the country, bringing some heavy rain. That leads to something of a change next week, but not a particularly dramatic change. The weather patterns continue to evolve slowly. It does look like there'll be low pressure close by, closest to the west, so that's where we're most likely to see rain next week. And so although it won't be as warm as this week, overall, it is likely to stay fairly mild with temperatures around or a touch above average. What's going on in the shorter term? Here's the broader pressure pattern, a bit of a north-south split at the moment, so that will continue for the next few days with low pressure systems whizzing by to the north of the UK. Quite a few isobars on the chart, closest together across the north, so some gusty winds here. All the while, slightly detached, the Azores high influencing things across the south, bringing a lot of dry weather here. We will start to see a shift as we go into the weekend. Instead of weather systems all coming in from the west, more of a southerly flow as we head into Sunday, with the potential for an area of low pressure to throw some showers up across the south. And then this low will swing a fairly active weather front across the country on Monday. Why that shift? Well, it's to do with what's going on high up in the atmosphere. So as we rewind back to the here and now, currently, a very active jet stream is sending deep areas of low pressure across Iceland, and we're kind of getting the tail end of those across Scotland in particular. So spells of wet and windy weather here, whereas further south we're on the warm side of the jet, and that high pressure is bringing fine weather. But the jet stream is buckling, kinking out in the Atlantic, and this kink, this developing trough, will change things up as we head into the weekend. This dip in the jet stream, this trough, is a breeding ground for areas of low pressure, and ahead of it, it will throw up more southerly weather systems. So one area of low pressure at the moment, bringing showers across Spain, will head up across France, and that has the potential just to bring some showers, particularly across parts of eastern England on Sunday. Quite a bit of uncertainty about that. It depends on how that jet stream develops, but just the risk of some showers across parts of the UK on Sunday. Other than that, though, most places for the next few days looking dry and still pretty warm, certainly by day. Sunny spells for many, but with those weather systems close by to Scotland, there will be more cloud and showers here. As I said, the potential for some heavy showers on Sunday, that's just something to keep an eye on. A more definite area of rain is approaching on Sunday night and Monday. That low out in the Atlantic, this active weather front swinging across the country, and the isobars pinching together as well. So a spell of windy weather and also a spell of quite heavy rain, and right across the country as well. Again, if we rewind it and put the rain on, you can see quite an active band there, some bright colours, something we haven't seen for a while, swinging across the UK during Monday. Now, detail of the timing of this weather front is open to some doubt, as you'd expect at this stage. We're talking 5 days away. And here is an example of the uncertainty around the position of that cold front. This is from the European model run. It's not a drawing by my 18-month-old. This is generated by a highly technical supercomputer when we run it several times. I'll zoom in a little bit. The UK is under here, and each one of these blue lines represent the position of that cold front from each one of the model runs when we run the computer several times. The green line is the deterministic model where we're most likely to see the cold front sitting. But you can see some of the computer solutions either side. So some of them just to the east of the UK, some of them keeping that cold front to the west, but a couple of them taking that weather front right across the country. This is by the start of Monday. So some uncertainty about the position of that cold front, but most computer models are in agreement that that active weather front will cross the country at some point on Monday. So a spell of wet weather for all of us, something certainly across much of England and Wales we haven't seen of recently. What happens beyond that? Well, that cold front will probably swing out of the way during Monday and into Tuesday, but the low that it came from isn't going anywhere fast, and that's because of the position of the jet stream becoming more amplified, so everything becoming more slow moving. When the jet stream's like this, almost doubling back on itself, it's really hard for the weather patterns to shift. So for much of next week, the most likely weather pattern is this, with low pressure up to the northwest, high pressure down across the east or to the southeast of the UK. Now, the exact location of the high and the low will obviously shift around, and it wouldn't take much for the low to be much closer to the UK, but or equally the high could be further in as well. But closest to the low pressure, that's where we're going to see the wettest and the windiest weather, so more likely in the west, and particularly the northwest was the driest, brightest weather next week, closest to the high, more likely across eastern areas. Either way, with this kind of setup, the winds are always going to be coming in from the west or more particularly the southwest, which is going to bring relatively mild conditions for this time of year. Now, if it's not as sunny as this week, and it's not going to be as warm by day, but nights will probably be a little bit milder. So overall, the theme for next week, with those southwesterly winds most likely staying fairly mild. Some uncertainty about the position of the low, and so where we will see rain, but overall it is likely to be wetter than this current week, and the driest conditions are likely to remain across the east. As always, for day-to-day detail, make sure you stay up to date, and the best way to do that, of course, is to follow the Met Office right across social media.